Since 2010, you've seen Cedar Point add Gatekeeper, VALRAVN, and Steel Vengeance, plus the conversion of Mantis to Rougarou. During the same time span, you saw the removal of the park's Wildcat, Disaster Transport, and Mean Streak Bite the Dust. You've also seen the park really enhance their on-site resorts and making Cedar Point more of a destination than it has ever been before. We said our goodbyes to Soak City and welcomed Cedar Point Shores, and we were able to experience a new era of festivals throughout the park each year. I must say, not bad for the last 10 years. So what will the next 10 years look like at the Point? And it's a pretty sure thing that we're going to see some coaster removals as well as new coasters. How many? You're about to find out. Here are my 10 bold predictions for Cedar Point that will happen before the year 2030. Welcome to Theme Park Predictions. My name is Brandon, and if you love theme parks and roller coasters, then be sure to subscribe to my channel, follow me on social media, and do not forget to give the video a thumbs up. Even with the pandemic we are currently facing now, I think the future of Cedar Point is as bright as ever. These next 10 years are going to be great for Cedar Point, and if you haven't been to the park yet in your life, I truly hope that you'll be able to visit soon. Starting off the bold predictions is a coaster removal. It is time to say goodbye to the sinking Magnum XL 200. Kidding, of course, but you'll see the other coaster in the park that reaches a max speed of 72 miles an hour bite the dust. Number 10, Wicked Twister will be removed and not relocated. Wicked Twister, you've always been one of my favorite rides at the park, but I just don't see how you're going to be around in 10 years, unfortunately. This Intamin Impulse coaster has been rumored for removal for the last few years, so will it happen? I honestly think it will. And when it does, Cedar Fair will either look to sell it or scrap it. Sorry, California's great America, enjoy your new hypercoaster instead. As to what I predict will replace Wicked Twister, stay tuned to my bold prediction number 5. Number 9, Cedar Point will win the World's Best Amusement Park Award again before 2030. 2013 was the last year that Cedar Point won this award. Now we all know to take the Golden Ticket Awards with a grain of salt, but for marketing purposes, the parks with the winners really love the bragging rights. With Cedar Point becoming a better, well-rounded park and resort, I just don't see how the park can't win the award again in the future. Number 8, Cedar Point Shores will open a record-breaking water coaster. It was great to see Soak City be rethemed to Cedar Point Shores for the 2017 season. The park did a fantastic job on it. What's even greater is the park finally opened a new water slide complex. This separate gated park seems to receive about one new water slide attraction per decade. In 2012, the park debuted Dragster H2O as well. So will Cedar Point Shores start getting better capital over the next decade? I believe so. Remember the whole resort atmosphere? And even if you're not a water park person, they bring in huge crowds and money for the park to build new attractions for the dry park. Currently in 2020, Cedar Fair has never installed a water coaster before. But since the company just acquired the 2 largest Slitterbond parks in 2019, I think they will see firsthand the return on investment as well as guest satisfaction these water coasters provide. So since it's Cedar Point, I can see them adding a record-breaking water coaster to Cedar Point Shores as the park's next capital project. Number 7, Kiddy Kingdom will be completely removed. It's now 2020, and we don't need 6 kid attractions that all do the exact same thing. I personally believe that the theme park industry will have to focus on keeping staffing to a minimum due to finding quality employees in the future. So I think you can see Kiddy Kingdom removed completely, and I think you'll see the area transformed into a more modern kid area, with more interactive attractions and modern kid and family rides. This will be a huge draw for families visiting the park and will not cost Cedar Point a ton of money to build this. Plus, this will cut a few positions that the park won't have to staff going forward. Number 6, Iron Dragon will be removed by 2030, plus a new family coaster. Fun fact, Iron Dragon should be called Dragon Iron. Another fun fact, Iron Dragon is one of only 5 operating aero suspended coasters left in operation in the world. This coaster opened in 1987 and I predict will be removed in the next few years to make way for a new family coaster to take its spot. How about a fun family multi-launch coaster? Fire Chaser Express, anyone? In my opinion, this would be the perfect addition to Cedar Point. Number 5, Cedar Point will add a new MACK water coaster to the park. With Cedar Fair recently starting a relationship with MACK, I can definitely see them throwing a few MACK water coasters into their chain of parks. Carowinds, Carowinds, and Carowinds. Would this be a traditional MACK coaster, or how about a MACK Power Splash attraction coming to Cedar Point? Here's another bold prediction that I will tie into this one. What if Cedar Point replaced Wicked Twister with a MACK Power Splash? This new water coaster would fit the whole theme of the area and provide better views of Lake Erie. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Number 4. VALRAVN will be the last B&M built at the park. Cedar Point currently offers their park guests a B&M dive, inverted, floorless, and a wing coaster. And those lucky ones were also able to ride Mantis as well. So I already created a video as to why Cedar Point will not receive a flying coaster, and the link to that video is at the top of your screen. So would the point to build a new B&M Hyper or Giga? The only B&M model that I can see having a chance at coming to the park would be their surf coaster concept. And we really don't even know exactly what that would be, but it looks as of now to be a multi-launch coaster concept. Want another reason? B&Ms are extremely expensive, and Cedar Fair has already said that they will not always build coasters that cost over $20 million. Number 3, Snake River Falls and the Frontier Trails anti-car ride will be removed for... As you can probably tell, there are quite a few coaster removals in my bold predictions for Cedar Point. Well, good news, because there are markings currently in the Frontierland section of the park, and since this is the area that Cedar Point seems to be heavily focusing on over the last few years, all things point to the park's next coaster opening in this area of the park. So what type of coaster? I will predict that in 2022, you'll see Cedar Point open up a new wooden coaster. Would it be a GCI or Gravity Group? I would personally prefer a GCI, but that's just me. I think this new coaster would take over the land formerly occupied by these two older attractions and really add to the frontier feel this area of the park currently offers. With a GCI wooden coaster, it would be hard to break records, but if Cedar Fair wanted, they could have GCI create a top 10 wooden coaster in this location. And I personally believe that Cedar Point needs a wooden coaster more than any other coaster type out there on the market today. Number 2, GEMINI will be removed by 2030. This rumor has only been around for a little while now, and at first I didn't want to buy into it. But I think by the year 2030, you will not see this coaster at the park anymore. Why? Well, how often does the park run both sides of this coaster? I remember during my 2 visits in 2018 that the park only had one side operating. But the main reason is space. GEMINI takes up a ton of real estate. Plus, it's not the best looking coaster, and the GEMINI Midway could be a lot nicer looking if the park had more trees in place of GEMINI. So what could Cedar Point build on GEMINI's plot of land? That leads us to my number 1 bold prediction for Cedar Point before the year 2030. Number 1, construction will start in late 2029 on building the world's tallest, fastest roller coaster. This new coaster would draw people from all around the world to come ride it, and I think that this location would be the perfect fit for it. Could it be an RMC T-Rex? And yes, I am aware that the T-Rex model is rumored to be delayed or scrapped, but why wouldn't RMC create this model? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Could we see a new Intamin at the park? Yes, Cedar Fair doesn't work with Intamin currently, but this is almost 10 years from now and a lot can change. Or could we see a new coaster manufacturer take on building the world's tallest coaster? Would it be 500 feet tall? Let me know what you think in the comments. So those are my 10 bold predictions for Cedar Point that I can see happening before the year 2030. What are your predictions for Cedar Point? I would love to hear them in the comments below. Also, I might not have time to respond to each comment, but I will not like a comment or give it a thumbs up until I read it. Thank you so much for watching, and my favorite theme park snack is a funnel cake with powdered sugar.